So what did you notice? You may have noticed that using PowerPoint to display your storyboard content allows for it to be more visual, but you can only see the narration script when in edit mode, since the only spot for it is in the notes section. Using Word allows for more detail and less restriction on space. However, you have to scroll through the document to see all the content for a slide, so it is harder to visualize what each slide will look like. So there are advantages and disadvantages of each type of template. For the sake of argument, we will stick to the two we have been looking at and go through a few advantages and disadvantages of each. A storyboard created in Word can have the following advantages and disadvantages. Advantages include you're not confined to one slide. You can use more than one page to display the content for your slide. It is easier to insert comments, and you can use track changes if you have someone edit your storyboard before you use it during final development. There is more page real estate to work with, even just on one page, especially if you use landscape layout. Disadvantages include it is harder to visualize how the screen may look once it is developed, especially if the content is spread over multiple pages. If you're using PowerPoint to create the final slides, it isn't as easily transferable if you were to use PowerPoint for your storyboard. Looking at PowerPoint as a medium for creating a storyboard, advantages include easier to visualize what each slide will contain, since one screen in your actual online course equates to one screen in your storyboard. It is easy to transfer if you are going to also use PowerPoint for the final product, as you can just save as a new name and remove the instructions and other storyboard related elements. Disadvantages may include you're confined to one slide per content screen. Sometimes instructions may not fit easily, or if you have information that has to appear in different layers in your online course, it may be cluttered. That is, you may have a clickable button that opens an image containing additional information, and this would be a different layer. It is not as easy to insert or see any comments you may leave in there for yourself while you're developing the storyboard. And lastly, there's less page real estate to work with as a whole, and therefore the notes section may also be used in order to have more content stages to work with. So those are some advantages and disadvantages of Word versus PowerPoint. Now we are ready to talk about components of a storyboard template. There are many different types of templates to use, as we've talked about, but they all must contain similar elements, which are normally referred to as stages. The screen content stage is where you write all the text that will appear on screen to your audience. You may also place here any static graphics or mock-ups of media that will appear with the text. In the media stage, you can write descriptions of how the media will be displayed to accompany any static images or mock-ups you included, or if you have to create the media from scratch, these can be standalone descriptions of what you envision for the graphics. You can also include how the image should be cropped or where to place in relation to the text or other graphics on screen. The narration script stage only has to be filled in if you are going to record your voice over your slides. If not, then this stage can remain blank. However, if you're going to record audio, make sure to write out exactly how you want to explain your slides in this location. Later, you can extract this text and insert it into a separate document to then have with you while you explain the content of your slides. For the development instruction stage, this is where you can describe your vision for how to make your content engaging and interactive. For example, will you have text or images appear as you narrate the slide? Or will you use hyperlinks or other pieces of content or websites that you will show to your audience? Will you show videos during your online course? This area gives you the opportunity to plan out what you want to happen for each slide, so that later all you have to do is look at your plan and produce your course. This gives you a way to determine ahead of time what you will do throughout your online course. and a way to then look at everything as a whole later to make sure that your vision for development is the best way to transfer the knowledge to your audience. So just to reiterate where these stages are on the actual template, this is a storyboard template I used to create this online course. So you can see the different stages here. You can see this is where we insert the screen title, the screen number. This is the text stage here, the screen content stage. This is the media stage here. The media descriptions go here. This is where you have your development instructions. And this is the narration script area in the notes section, because this was done in PowerPoint. Okay, so we have learned a little bit about storyboard templates and its components. How would you like to get a copy of the exact template I used to create this e-course? I know I like freebies, so I'm giving you 2 freebies to help you. One is my storyboard template, so that you can use it to create e-course blueprints of your own. And the second one is an example of the actual storyboard for one of the lessons I've created for this course. This should help you learn how you can fill out your template if you're just starting out and unsure how to use it in practice. I always find looking at an example helps. This is because you can compare the final product, what you are learning from right now, to the storyboard I used to create it with, and see how to go from the draft or blueprint form of your content right to the final product. Just click Next to download these files. Now it's time to try out another knowledge check question, and then I'll see you back here to summarize this lesson.